This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:30. Roll call, please.
Mr. Simons.
Here.
Mr. Freehan is here. Mr. Boda.
Here.
Mr. Patsalas.
Here.
Mr. Horn.
Here.
Ms. Babel.
Here.
Mr. Blackstock.
Here.
All present.
Okay. Would you follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, just a comment. All action is going to be a roll call votes during this telecommunication meeting. Moving on to approval of the tentative agenda. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda as presented? Hearing none, a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
If there are no additions or deletions to the agenda, I'll make a motion to accept.
Angelo here, I'll support.
We have a motion and we have a support to accept the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons.
Yes.
Freehan votes yes. Mr. Boda.
Yes.
Mr. Patsalas.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Ms. Babel.
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
All yes.
Motion approved. Moving on to approval of the minutes of July 20th, 2020. They're in your packet. If there's any corrections that have to be done, now is the time to bring it up. If not, a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Accept the minutes as provided, 2020, July 20th.
Able support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a support to approve the minutes of July 20th, 2020. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Ms. Babel.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Mr. Patsalas.
Yes.
Mr. Boda.
Yes.
Freehan votes yes. Mr. Simons.
Yes. Motion carries. We approve the minutes. Next, we have public comment. Is there anybody on the telecom that would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? Anybody else is on? Bob?
No, I don't see anybody on. No.
Okay. All right, so nobody. We'll move on. To the consent agenda, we have none. Next, we have disbursements. We have invoices of $50,717.72. We have accounts payable of $116,126.47. We have payroll direct deposit of $33,137.17. We have payroll EFTs of $11,468.99. We have a tax account of $236,073.13. And we got a total void of $650 for a total disbursement of $446,873.48.
I'll make a motion to pay out the disbursements for $446,873.48.
Sable support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a support to pay the disbursements. Is there any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Freehand votes yes. Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Patsalos,
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
Mrs. Babel,
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock,
Yes.
all yes.
Motion carries, we pay the bills. Moving on to old business, we have none. Our next thing is new business. It's a request for planning services. It's in your packet. It has to do with contracting with our planners to look into the zoning ordinance for the chickens. Herb, can you shed any light on this for the rest of the board?
Yes. I believe it was 2 meetings ago that the young lady came to the board and discussed her issue with her chickens. And I took that back to the planning commission and explained to them that our ordinance may have some issues with it. Explained that the young lady came in, discussed having pet chickens. She was found to be non-conforming to our ordinance for chickens, but it was, I guess, kind of humorous that she was allowed a horse, but not a chicken. And the planning commission, we discussed it pretty thoroughly, and I believe they were all in agreement. There was no formal vote taken, but we were all in agreement that we do need to look at that section of our zoning ordinance regarding pets and livestock in general, just to reevaluate whether or not chickens can be allowed. And again, I believe most of the group was in agreement that yes, looking at neighboring communities, others do allow it. I'm not quite sure why we don't allow it, but we all felt that there needed to be some restrictions of some kind on the livestock, the number, the type, possibly some more verbiage in terms of cleanliness and things of that nature. So we had requested that our planners take a look at that section, give us some advice as to the ratio, for instance, of chickens to amount of property, what they would recommend. I know I'm sure they've done this in other communities, so I think it shouldn't be a shock to them. But also to evaluate and maybe clear up some areas of other livestock, maybe reevaluate the horse ordinance, other smaller livestock, and clarify for our zoning ordinance what is allowed and what wouldn't be allowed.
Also look at setbacks, like where you have them on your property. I mean, they can't be like a building you can build within 3 feet on the side lot. I mean, would they have to be like 50 feet in the lot or something like that?
I mean, we can request that. We can look into that. I guess if it's a structure of any kind for whatever animal it would be, it would more than likely fall under our setback requirements for accessory buildings. So I'm sure we've covered that, but we can make sure that they look at that as well.
Okay.
This is freehand. Typically, I know in the past the planning commission, and they do actually have authorization to go ahead and contract with the planner. I just felt it was appropriate to put it on the boards since the board referred it to the planning commission initially. That's why I had brought it back and recommended that it be on the agenda tonight for the board's input into the whole process.
Okay.
This is Angelo here. I like the direction that the planning commission took on this because some of our ordinances are a little bit outdated. So I like the idea that you're going to look at not only the chickens, but at other livestock also. So kudos to you and the planning commission on that.
Thank you.
So what we're looking for here is a motion.
This is free. Go ahead, Herb.
I'll make the motion that we approve our planner to review our zoning ordinance regarding, what do they say here, livestock and chickens in the amount not to exceed $780.
I support. This is Babel.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a support. Is there any further discussion? Everybody knows what we're doing?
Yep.
Yes, we need to vote then. Roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock,
Yes.
Ms. Babel,
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Patsalos,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Freehand votes yes. Mr. Simons.
Yes, motion carries. We hire the planners to review the ordinance.
Larry, just your information, Larry, this is Don. Many years ago, a long time ago, they okayed, or they want to okay, you could even have cattle on your property, I believe it was 5 acres or more. It's been talked about before, farm animals, so just for your information.
What is it on the horse right now? 2 acres?
I'm not sure. I think it's 2 acres for a horse, but if you wanted cattle on the farm, on your property now, you had to have a minimum of 5 acres. I believe that's what it was.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything to add to that? If not, we'll move on to announcements. The only announcement I have is the Miser Road Bridge is going to be closed until November 16th. I took a walk down there Sunday. They've got the whole deck off. Seems to be coming right along, but it'll probably get slower now when they start putting it back together. So that's all I have on announcements. And, well, the big announcement is make sure everybody gets out and votes tomorrow. It is election day. The township hall will be closed. We'll be doing business, but by phone or email, and we'll be closed tomorrow for a half a day for cleaning. And I'd like to extend a thank you to all the people that were involved with our water leak that we had last Saturday and Sunday. We think we found a big leak. I think it's the leak we've been looking for a while. It actually got worse. That's probably why we had to really start looking. And it came out to be in a spot that it's not normal for us to be in, the Fragmity that's 8 feet high or 10 feet high. So it was behind the by Meadow Lodge, the Doctor's Park in there off of Gut Road, about 200 feet to the south. So thank you to everybody, the water department, the people in the office, everybody that, I mean, the water plant, they brought in operators. We were working 24 hours a day to keep up with the water. We were contacting people at home on the weekend. I know Cindy was involved. I was involved. Blaine was involved. It was a good effort by our whole team here at East China. And I think it turned out really well. We had the water back on by, it was all fixed by Monday night. So that was all good. So other than that, that's all I have. Now move on to board member comments. Mr. Blackstock.
I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Babel.
Oh, I have nothing either.
Mr. Horn.
Yes, I have one, Larry. I was in the cemetery here the other day, and the emergency siren got a bunch of trees on the east side that are much higher than the siren, and they should be blocking the sound. And somebody should take a look at it.
Okay. Take a look.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Passalis?
I just have one thing. I just would like to thank Cindy for getting the grant that she got for our bike path. I mean, that's going to be really nice now. We're going to get another 1,250 that we're going to be able to really basically put in a new bike path at that point. I know she worked hard on that, so thanks, Cindy, for that $20,000. Anytime we can get some free money for our township, it's a great thing.
Yeah, that's a
That's all I have.
one-to-one. Yeah. But we do that much every year anyway, so I think we can use our $25,000 for our match that we've already budgeted.
Correct. That's all I have, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Mr. Boda?
One thing, Larry, I mentioned a few meetings ago about trying to get louder sirens for the township because the other ones weren't really all that loud. Now I was wondering if anyone from the township had checked into that at all, or what the story.
Yeah, I don't know. Cindy, did we reach out to emergency management? Are they the ones that control those sirens?
Yeah, so they have put a person on that. He did do an analysis and survey of our sirens last month. I think it was the hottest day of the year. And he was up top checking out everything for our sirens. So that is something that the county is managing for us, and I'm on the committee for that.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
All right, Mr. Freehand?
Just as you've already reminded people, tomorrow is Election Day. Polls are open for in-person voting from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. We do encourage people to vote in off times if they possibly can, if they're voting in person, because we have to provide for the physical distancing and other personal protection, both for the election workers as well as for people that are in voting. So we've issued 1,020 absentee ballots, and we've received, I think, as of this afternoon, 769 back in. They can be dropped off at the township hall in the absent ballot box outside anytime up to 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Tuesday night, August the 4th. So we encourage people, if they haven't voted by absentee, to vote in person, and we encourage them to use the off hours. Thank you.
Thanks. Most of mine are already taken up. I mean, I was going to talk about the bike grant, and that's a wonderful thing that we got, the bike path grant. And did Blaine turn anything in yet, Cindy, on getting estimates?
Yeah, actually, we posted that on Mitten and on our website. So we are encouraging any vendors who are qualified for this project to propose bids. The bids are closing on August 11th. And this is a matching grant. So we're going to basically double our investment.
Good. That's all I have, but I'd like to, Cindy, do you have anything to add to the meeting?
No, I want to apologize for not getting monthly management reports out the last couple months, but I did include it via email to members today. If you have any questions about things, it's been kind of crazy. I put a really condensed version of what's been going on the last few weeks, so I'd welcome any questions.
Okay. Oh, one other thing that I think we should talk about, we delivered that township audit to you. If you've had a chance to look at it. If not, if you have any questions, you can call Cindy, myself, or Scott Hoskins at UBY. Because we have to get that in. We had to get it in by the end of the month. So we'll be voting on that on the 17th, our meeting of the 17th. It should be a live meeting, and we will have the auditors will be there. Oh, if there's nothing else, anybody else have anything else? I guess a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:49.
I'll support. This is Horn. I'll support. Okay, we have a motion. We have a support to adjourn. Is there any further questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Freehand votes yes. Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Patsalos,
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
Mrs. Babel,
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.